In spiritual community, why do light workers hate light warriors? Who are these light warriors? If you're interested, let's get into this video. Now, before we speak about light warriors, let's know who are light workers in short. Light workers are those individuals who are aligned to their true selves and are committed to be in service to the humanity. They are spiritual seekers. They are spiritual seekers who loves to focus on the positivity and light and healing. They usually avoid the negativity. They are wonderful, kind, genuine human beings who are very spiritual and who are very committed to be in service to the humanity. Now, who are light warriors? Light warriors are also individuals who are aligned to their true selves and are committed to be in service to the humanity. And they're genuine, kind, compassionate people. However, what's the difference between them and light workers? Light warriors are not only the master of light, they are also the master of darkness. They are both master of light and darkness. They are the shadow workers. They are the super empaths. They are not normal empaths. They are super empaths. They have very high intelligence, high emotional intelligence and self-awareness. They transmute their own darkness and then become the master of light. They become the master of light by transmuting their inner darkness, by mastering the darkness within them and not by avoiding the darkness. Light warriors are also true alchemists, which means they very fast transmute their pain and misery and suffering into highest level of wisdom. Very fast. Okay, they are the truth tellers. Now, not all truth tellers are light warriors. I have to remind you that. Okay? So, light warriors, they don't ask questions like, why are narcissists so evil? Why are Mr. X so evil? Why are Miss Y so evil? Which they might have asked only in the initial stage of their healing journey. They might have asked those questions in their initial stage of healing journey. Okay? However, in the next phase of their healing journey, they usually ask questions like, what is within me that making me constantly tolerating those abusive people, toxic people? What is within me that I need to heal? That is constantly allowing myself to be manipulated by those toxic, vindictive people. They take total accountability for their misery in their life. They take total accountability to know their own role in their misery. Okay? Light warriors, they view every trigger, abuse, challenges and problems as an opportunity to be transmuted to highest level of wisdom and peace. They take it as an opportunity to know themselves, to know their true selves. Every trigger and abuse is an opportunity for a light warrior to know their strength, to know their weakness, to know their limited beliefs, to know their past trauma, to know their emotional wounds that they have to heal themselves. Every relationship is a mirror for them, mirror of their internal wound, emotional wound that needs to be healed. Every relationship is viewed as a mirror of the belief system that is embedded in their own subconscious mind. And hence, they constantly transform and evolve to higher state of consciousness easily and faster than others. They have constant spiritual awakening. Every year, every 6 months or every few months, they constantly evolve and transform to higher state of consciousness and higher state of awareness and peace constantly. They have conquered their internal demons and hence they easily defeat their external demons. Light warriors have high emotional intelligence, So they know their strength and weakness very well. They know themselves very well. So nobody can ever manipulate them, gaslight them, or insult them to make them feel unworthy, because they know themselves very well. Light warriors are also always few steps ahead of vindictive, abusive, and manipulative people. They know those people very well. Since they have mastered their own darkness, they also mastered the external darkness. They are also able to see other people's darkness very well. They're able to read those people very well. They're able to see through those people. So they're always few steps ahead of those people. Light warriors, since they have a very high self-awareness, intuition, and commitment to be in service to the humanity, they have less tolerance to abuse, bullies, and manipulative people, or any type of injustice. They do not tolerate abusive people, toxic people, manipulative people, and they do not tolerate injustice, any sort of injustice. As compassionate and empathetic as they are also extremely fierce in slaying toxic people and bullies. They don't hesitate to slay those people. They can very quickly detect narcissists, liars, hypocrites from far, regardless of the mask those people wear. They're able to detect them just like that. Even if those people manage to cheat them, it won't be for a very long time. Sooner or later, they will find out. They will find out that those people are manipulative, cunning, and liars. Light warriors usually will know the right techniques to teach malicious people a lesson and put them in their place and stop them from destroying innocent people's lives. They always know the right techniques to teach those people the right lesson. There is one quote which says that, be the kind of person that when you put your feet on the floor, be the kind of person that when your feet hit the floor, the devil says, "Oh my God, is she up?" Be the kind of person that the devil fears. And this quote perfectly applies for the light warriors. Those malicious people who knows these people very well, who knows light warriors very well, are extremely afraid of them. They are very fearful of them. They won't hesitate to be fierce and cunning to slay those abusive people. However, they also do not hold any resentments towards those people once the mission is done. They quickly transmute those emotional pain to peace and wisdom very fast. Now I want you to understand something. When I said initially that light warriors do not stay in a victim mentality, okay? When an abuse happens, it is very essential to acknowledge that we are the victim of the abuse. It's very, very essential to acknowledge that we are the victims, and it's very important to acknowledge our perpetrators or abusers' toxic patterns. Okay, we do not immediately get into toxic positivity. So it is very important to acknowledge it. We don't force people to forgive. Forgiveness cannot be forced. Forgiveness is a byproduct of inner work and self-awareness. You don't force someone to forgive their abusers or perpetrators or their betrayers. So light warriors do not bypass that stage. Okay? They do not get into the toxic positivity, but at the same time, they also do not stay in that stage for a very long time. They take the power in their hand and look at their own role that they play in their misery. Okay? Now, let's get into the next important question. Why do light workers hate light warriors? You have to understand something. Many light workers, not all, many light workers, they solely only focus on positivity, only on the light. Many of them are involved in toxic positivity, and they force themselves to forgive the malicious people. They suppress and numb their emotions, their emotional pains, and pretend to be happy, pretend to be in the light. And they do spiritual bypassing. What is spiritual bypassing? Spiritual bypassing is people who use spiritual concept to avoid facing the truth, avoid facing the reality, avoid facing their painful emotions. So, when light workers meet light warriors, they get intimidated because light warriors hold light workers accountable for their own misery in their life. They challenge them to take accountability to face their misery in life. They challenge them to heal their shadow aspect, to heal their emotional wounds, rather than being in toxic positivity, and face their darkness, face their internal demons. There are two types of light workers. One is the one who's involved in toxic positivity. Another one is the one who constantly want to be in the victim stage and blaming and demonizing their perpetrators and abusers for the rest of their life. So light warriors challenge these people to take accountability in their lives, to face their inner demons, their shadow aspect. And light warriors' joy, happiness, peace, spiritual progress, wisdom, constant evolution and transformation intimidates light workers. Why? Because light workers start thinking why they don't have the similar benefits despite being extremely positive, genuine, and being in service to the humanity. Some of them get jealous and get frustrated. So they dislike light warriors. Now, I would like to tell you here something. Light warriors and light workers are not more special than others. They are here to show us our own true power. And they help us to be the embodiment of truth. Now I want to share with you a dream that I had, how I found out about light warriors. About 1 or 2 years ago, I had a dream. In that dream, I was sent as a spy to underground. There was an underground library in the underworld, and I was sent there as a spy to steal something. And I immediately stole it, and I ran away and hid behind my leader, my so-called leader in the dream. However, somebody from the underground saw me coming out from their place. I don't think so they saw me stealing that information. They just told me, they just saw me moving away from that place, running from their place to my leader. And they approached my leader and they asked this question: what was a light warrior doing in our place? What was a light warrior doing in our place? Before my leader replied to that question, I immediately woke up from that dream. I was shocked, I was puzzled, because that was the first time I heard the word light warrior. I googled about it. I googled that word and I found many light warriors all around the world, and they are very similar to each other. They are very much connected to the warrior deities. They're master of darkness and light. Many of you know my page's name is Awakening Spiritual Warriors. I've channeled this name way before I had this dream. Okay, so let me know what you think about this topic. Thank you.